easy.
Bijan Robinson
Daniel.
or Jahmyr Gibbs? Come
As
on.
in career-wise? Okay.
Say it. Say it.
Bijan Robinson.
Right.
And it's not a diss on Jahmyr Gibbs when you say that either, but at some point, as Detroit Lions fans, we have to look ourselves in the mirror. And again, this does not mean that Jahmyr Gibbs can't be an all-pro player, blah, 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 blah. But the fact of the matter is, Jahmyr Gibbs is never going to get the workload that Bijan Robinson does in Atlanta. One, because of the size of Jahmyr Gibbs, and the most important part, the system that Bijan Robinson is in with Arthur Smith. So the fact that Bijan Robinson is a more gifted runner of the football with some receiving ability, and he's going to get a hell of a lot more touches. I would say at the first part of their careers, at the bare minimum, Bijan's the no-brainer. Now, that does not mean, like I said, that Jahmyr Gibbs cannot be some offensive weapon that still gets 15 touches a game. I'm not saying that, 15 to 20 even. But the plain matter is, as of right now, to say that Jahmyr Gibbs is better than Bijan Robinson, I don't think there's a hill for you to stand on. I don't know what you would have going in your way, because at the same time, Bijan Robinson also has his first receiving touchdown of the year. He got that week 1.
Mm-hmm.
Can't say that about Jahmyr Gibbs. You might be able to after this week, but even if you do, I think we're going to have a clear picture of it on Sunday. Lined up besides opposites of both great O-lines, kind of defenses. Yeah. And their offense, I mean, you got Amon-Ra St. Brown for the Lions, but you also have Drake London for them.
Yeah.
That's their Amon-Ra St. Brown. So there's similar situations. We'll see. But right now, you have to go with Bijan Robinson, in my opinion.
No, I got to go to JB because I know you're kind of like a residential homer right now. I need your answer on this one. Is it Bijan Robinson or Jahmyr Gibbs for you?
It's Bijan Robinson. And I agree with everything Lucas says. Not to say that Jahmyr Gibbs is a bust or will have a terrible career here with the Lions, but he's just not the same type of back as Bijan is. Like, I'm sorry. I sent that video out to all you guys about the over-the-head camera view that they had of him doing all the jump cuts on the one run. Like, this is a different kind of back right here that you're dealing with. And honestly, I'm a little concerned for the linebackers and our defense come Sunday, if I'm being honest.
I don't know. Because the thing is that it doesn't make me nervous about the personnel that the Lions have. What makes me nervous is in order to neutralize this Falcons running game, you can't miss any tackles. Bijan Robinson is a problem of his own.
Yeah.
You let Tyler Algier on top of that start breaking tackles. That man, Tyler Algier he's a mean motherfucker when he runs the ball.
Oh, yeah.
He's one of those guys that he stiffed from Jair Alexander into the sideline from the numbers last week. Jair Alexander had a rough game, by the way. And besides that drop pick 6, which is not a good thing either, he was getting thrown around by Matt Collins and Drake London. So that's a hopeful sign. But Tyler Algier, you talk about Alex Anzalone, he puts himself in position. What does he do a lot? He misses those. You can't have that this week because the defensive line presence isn't going to be there, especially on the edge. You're going to have to struggle to contain these guys to begin with. And when you do, you can't let anything happen after that because the second level guys, I'm sorry, Kirby Joseph, great tackler.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if anybody one-on-one can tackle Bijan Robinson in the open field right now. That's just setting yourself up for failure. So that's when it comes down to, again, when we talk about Aaron Glenn, it's okay to get out of what you've been running over the last couple weeks and since last season. It's okay to expand and now shift into something else because every week your opponent has a new strength. So let's not act like this Detroit Lions team is the same as it was last week, is the same as it was leaving last season. So make some adjustments, and that's how you stop it. Come up with a good scheme and just wrap up, make the first tackle, and if not, pursuit of the ball. So after that, because they're going to break tackles, it's going to happen. But have the pursuit. So after that gain, after the yards after contact is limited.
Yeah, I think I'll say this though, and this is like a positive for Detroit Lions fans. Kenneth Walker, I feel like is almost equally as hard to tackle. Like he had some of the most impressive 4-yard, 2-yard runs I've ever seen.
Yeah, I would say at an elusive level I don't even know. I would say Kenneth Walker is close.
Yeah, I think
Bijan
got the
is
weight.
A different breed.
Yeah, Bijan will fall forward. I'll give him that.
It's the thing of just the simple saying in my not to cut you off. There's levels. Kenneth Walker, incredibly elusive back, and he's strong. He's powerful, explosive.
Yeah.
But everything you can say about Kenneth Walker, you can say about Bijan. And honest to God, last week against the Packers, I was watching. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like this dude's going.
You
to be
heard me last night. I was like, ooh.
It's
it was like 3 in a row.
He looks like Ezekiel Elliott in year 2.
More elusive.
And he's loose, like you said. Like he's not a stiff runner. Tyler Algier, powerful back, kind of a stiff runner. He's not going to make many people. He'll run through your fucking face. But Bijan will run through your fucking face, and after he does that, he'll spin out your safety.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just there's levels, and just how quick he does it, how natural it is, and just again, I know it sounds stupid, but just his hips, his ability to plant here, but still keep his balance, even though his body's slanting 70 degrees to the right, but yet he still can move to the left just like that. It's insane.
Yeah, he's got the seamless cut. Like I know that Jahmyr was faster in the 40.
Yeah.
And all the measurements stuff like that, but like Bijan's vision and the seamless ability to cut, it makes him equally as fast.
It's like,
it doesn't lose any speed in his strides at all.
Yeah, it's like almost like C-Mac, where it's like he's got eyes in the side of his head.
Yes.
Where it's like he can see the linebacker does not even realize that Bijan sees him. Bijan sees him, and he's setting him up for 3 yards on the field so he can go, huh! And while he's doing that, he's looking at the safety. You know what I mean? It's just, the guy is just, I always say about Joe Burrow, he was born to play the quarterback position. Bijan Robinson was born to play running back in the NFL.
Yeah,
just flat
relax on Joe Burrow.
No, you can say, I'm standing by my guns with Joe Burrow. They were 0-2 last year around this time. I think it'll be very similar. You think that we can get into it later.
All right, they gave me Josh Jefferson for Jamar Chase.
For fantasy?
Yeah.
No.
Well, what do you mean? You got Joe Burrow throwing the ball
one of them
to
has
him.
T. Higgins on their team as well.
I'm just saying.
And I'm just saying.
No, I think it's obviously Bijan. I guess like what I want to lead into, because I knew the answer would be Bijan, but being that, because you said it yourself, Jahmyr's not like a every down back. Was it a reach by Brad Holmes to grab him at 12? Sorry,
I still think it's too early to say, because at the same time people are freaking out about Jahmyr Gibbs, but this motherfucker has his whole career to play.
For sure.
He's 2 games in. And,
for sure.
Well, I know you brought up the stats.
But as a first round investment.
But this is what I'm about to say. You brought up all those stats yesterday.
Yes.
I looked again. You want to know another player? Christian McCaffrey. He had, I'm trying to think.
So 20
It
touches.
was 22 carries through his first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And it was a very similar situation. They had Jonathan Stewart there. The Lions have David Montgomery there. And then as the season went on, Christian McCaffrey became Christian McCaffrey. Against the Lions, actually, on that primetime game, he caught his first touchdown. That's when he started becoming Christian McCaffrey. So that's all it takes. It's just, I get why people are like, oh, you got to use him, you got to use him, you got to use him. Yeah, they do, and I think this is when they're going to start. They know they have to use him. They know that. But at the same time, just like pass protection, you can't leave Jahmyr. When you're down 10 in the fourth quarter, and they're sending all the guys because they just have a DB, Tariq Woolen got hurt, so now I have to apply pressure to the quarterback. No Taylor Decker. You can't leave Jahmyr Gibbs in there. He's going to get blown up. You're talking about an injury waiting to happen. Wait for a defensive end, a linebacker to go in there and smoke Jahmyr Gibbs and pass pro, and then guess what? He'll fall into a linebacker or a lineman's knee or fall into Jared Goff's knee. Like, no. That's why Craig Reynolds was in there so much. Now, I'm not saying that I necessarily agree with it. I would kind of go like, all right, go to your quick game, dump it off to Amon-Ra, dump it off to Jahmyr Gibbs. But that's what they were doing, so that's why.
Cracker's straight. I just don't like when they involve him in like the screens. Like, come on, that's a Jahmyr asset. You get Jahmyr those plays.
That play, when they motion Jahmyr Gibbs as a distraction, and then they throw it to Craig Reynolds, who outran his blocker. Oh my God, that's when I was like, what the fuck are we? That's when I was like, coaching. This game is coaching. This has everything to do with coaching. Now I understand there's a player on the teams. I mean, you can go down the names, but we'll leave them out. That cost the Lions a huge chunk of this game, but when it came down to it, like crucial play calling, crucial alignment, and big moments, they didn't show up.
Do you think there's an option play on Goff's part?
For which one?
That Gibbs and Reynolds play.
You
think you could have went Gibbs? Because still kind of tricking the defense by pulling all your lines the opposite way.
You could have, but that's how you set Jahmyr Gibbs out to die, because he has no blockers out there.
Yeah.
All the linemen are going to the right. You're relying on your corner or your receiver basically to cover 2 people there or block 2 people, and if not, you're relying on Jahmyr Gibbs to make a man miss in the open field, which he can't do.
For sure.
So, I mean, you can, but I don't know if it's
my
necessary.
assumption is
You're hanging him out to dry.
You suck. Pause. You suck the defense onto the side of Craig Reynolds because obviously that's where the screen's going.
Yeah.
That leaves Jahmyr kind of like there to make a man miss, like you said.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if there's an option around the Goff's part.
The thing is, but the guy who's probably there, it's probably going to be Quandre Diggs. The backside of that. So you got Quandre Diggs with a full head of steam running at Jahmyr Gibbs.
Not fun.
Jahmyr Gibbs. Quandre Diggs looked like a demon on Sunday, bro. I was so mad when the Lions traded Quandre Diggs.
I love Quandre Diggs.
Shout out Bob Quinn. Fuck you, Bob Quinn.
Why'd you shout out Bob Quinn?
So I can tell him fuck you.
Oh, all right.